Sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass.
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Salmon Oskin, third win of the season.
He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today!
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
We are live from the world's center of speed. That's not stock car racing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to race number 20 of the 2020 season, the inaugural season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series. We are live from Speedway, Indiana, here for the running of the Menards 500 at the one, the only, the Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trey Wright, and this is definitely going to be a fun one. 5 races to go, including this race, until we cut off the top 10 drivers and 2 wildcard drivers for the first ever chase in the inaugural season of the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series. But before that is a couple races in the future. We are now focusing here at Indianapolis. 40 drivers will do 40 laps here at this 2.5 mile trying to think of the shape here, rectangular shaped racetrack here in the heart of the United States. As you can see here by the camera angles, Carter Joey is on the pole, trying to get a good camera angle, go over your top 10 starters. Carter Joey is on the pole. Starting alongside him is the 38 of Trey Smith. Row 2, the 27 of Jake Dover starts alongside the 5 of Cole Sampson. Row 3, Caleb Rose starts top 5 today, hoping he can have a good start. Hoping he can have a rebound after a terrible mid-season he's been having. He starts alongside the guy who I believe is in second in points, Eric Monaco. I say believe, and because I'll get to the explanation once we get the cars rolling. Row 4, 77 of Dustin Davis starts alongside Nathan Buchanan. Row 5 is the number 46 of Caleb Gamble. He starts alongside Fitzy, Zachary Fitzwater, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Going to get all the cars rolling off here. And there is the Papyrus pace car pulling off on a pit lane, making sure everybody gets rolling here, and it appears that they are. So, yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I was. Sorry, yeah, kind of blacked out, ladies and gentlemen. So I explained that I am pretty sure that Eric Monaco is still second in the points there. I actually didn't realize he actually has a good qualifying result. So that's good for that team, but making sure every car rolls off, and it appears that they have. So said that Eric Monaco does have the, I believe that he has the points lead here, because if you have not been following me on the NOFSRL server, you would know that my power has actually gone out. I'm actually hooked to a generator here. Actually just hooked up this generator here just about 30 minutes beforehand. Actually an hour beforehand. But regardless of what the timing, basically I have not had the time to calculate points because my internet has been out. So yeah, I've not calculated the points after Dover. Speaking of Dover, trying to locate your Dover winner. There he is, Colton Yo in the number 1. Great Cinderella story out of that team. And then Ryan Benjamin, he starts shotgun on the field. He's a Daytona 500 champion, definitely falling from grace. But that's a little brief explanation. The Dover points, like when this race does go up, you'll see the points with Dover. But as of recording this right now, I have not calculated that. So for all I know, Colton Yo himself could be the points leader. Probably not, but I'm assuming it's still probably Landon Smith Jr. Where is Landon Smith Jr.? There he is. So there's where Landon Smith Jr. is. And yeah, after that brief explanation, these drivers, 40 drivers, going to be doing 40 laps here around the famous Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Carter Joey and Trey Smith lead them to the yard of bricks. Joey with a great jump. We're racing here at the Brickyard. Oh, and around somebody back in the pack. Oh, Brady Wilmington. We got cars stacking here on the front straightaway. 2 separate accidents. Wilmington spun around. There's your points leader. Oh, man. Landon Smith Jr. around. We've already got a wreck here. 2 separate wrecks. Dave Benjamin Jr. second week in a row he's been taken out. Actually, 3rd race in a row he's been taken out. Well, it's one of the SF Premium cars. Oh, man. Benjamin Dover had a great one at Dover last week. Riley Sampson. Oh, we got cars still wrecking. There's Voiles, Mitchell Collins. And oh, my goodness, what transpired here on the front stretch. A very narrow front straightaway. Nathan Smith, your Charlotte winner. Daisy Johnson, Derek Hamill. Al Agassi with a little bit of damage. Jonathan Logan, Brandon Udell. Logan Williams pretty unscathed. DeVito Jr. once again with damage. Ryan Benjamin, just has a wrinkle of damage in the 15. Voiles, I believe that is Dustin Davis in the 77. He's out of the race. What in God's name happened here? Took me a second or so to register Landon Smith Jr., probably the biggest driver to be involved in this, other side from Brady Wilmington. Tyler Reynolds also involved. A lot of drivers. Josh Williamson with a bit of damage. Took me a second to register that someone was going around on the front straightaway, but man, oh man. And Eric Monaco, we have everybody coming down the pit lane just about. Actually, not everybody. Carter Joey's going to stay out. He led the race back. Fitzy's going to stay out, but going to follow along here with Jake Hoover. I have no idea what happened, but drivers playing the strategy game early here. Actually, we're going to follow along with Caleb Rose, see what he does. Caleb Rose, I know he's been kind of getting some TV time for the wrong reasons, but hopefully he can pull out a fast pit stop in that 54 Mitsubishi. Actually, a lot of drivers taking 2 tires. Pretty much everybody taking 2 tires here. James Edwards, teammate to Brady Wilmington, one of the first cars to go around with this fast stop in that 32. Looking for his first one of the season. Same goes for Danny DeVito Sr., who brought out the final caution at Dover that gave Colton Yo the win. Nathan Buchanan out. Caleb Rose, he's still going to be in the top 10 after this. But a couple drivers staying out. Carter Joey, Fitzy, Madison Tall, who had a wild ride at Dover last race. And then Charlie Davenport, saw him play the strategy game at Dover. And that helped into a top 8 finish. So, top 10 finish. He finished 8th. See a couple guys checking up here. Oh, no, Bradley Ream into Colton Yo, into Keegan Thompson. Well, Bradley Ream's just going to have to whine about something else. So we got a couple of cars stacking it up here. Brennan Udell, a lot of guys stacking it up on the back straightaway. So, have to look at that. But a big accident on the front straightaway coming off of turn 4 for the first time. Carter Joey and a handful of guys stayed out. So, let's see what happened and bring out the first caution here in the Menards 500 at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we're going to follow along here with Dustin Davis in the 77. Going to overshoot turn 4 right into Trey Smith. Trey Smith is going to spin him around. And you guys go ducking under. And then I don't know what Dave Benjamin Jr. just did, but he just flat out turned right into the 77. Look at the hit that Davis just sustained. Right, ping-pongs back into Riley Sampson, back into Daisy Johnson. And it's just a stack up in the back there. But then Brady Wilmington. Oh, Eric Monaco did get a little bit of damage. Dave Benjamin Jr. ultimately is going to turn the 62 around. And then this is the big part right here. Whammo, your points leader, Landon Smith Jr., right into the back of that 62. Brady Wilmington is going to turn around, but that knocked out Landon Smith Jr., his second DNF of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But then a lot of guys with damage. Benjamin Dover with damage. Riley Sampson on the pit lane. Have to see what happened more in the back half of the field. Zachary Davis, I think it was just guys running into each other. You see Tyler Reynolds, 2/3 of the SF Premium cars taken out. Danny DeVito Jr., Nathan Smith, Daisy Johnson. A lot of cars with damage here. And then Carter Joey. Actually, we're going to play this in real time just a little bit. And see right here, they're coming back from the stripe. I'm not sure. Voiles just misjudges it. and just kind of turns himself around into Carter Joey, giving both of those cars more damage. Logan Williams, kind of see him hit the gas on the outside as Voiles thankfully just slams on the brakes, and those Michelin tires thankfully bring him to a stop, even though Michelin does not really have good memories of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, shades of the 2005 U.S. Grand Prix for you F1 fans out there. But that's going to damage a significant portion of the field. Going to knock out a lot of drivers as well, probably a fifth of the field, failing to complete a lap here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Real-time replay here, following along with Dustin Davis, just overdrives the outside wall, and then, I don't know what, oh my goodness, just a lot of hard hits, just a lot of ping-ponging in the back there, and then ultimately drivers just being stuck here. Just a very, very narrow front straightaway, and just unfortunately a lot of cars were taken out here, as this is in the early stages of this race. Benjamin Dover being one of them, Riley Sampson, and then up in the front here, he almost had another wreck. Ooh, Ryan Benjamin DeVitos. Actually, these guys did go around, so he did miss that, but not a whole lot of damage for those guys there. We'll take a look at who spun Brady Wilmington around in the 62 and then get you back to your restart here in the Menards 500. Following along here with the 62 of Wilmington, I think he just misjudged it under Cole Sampson, both Sampson brothers, in being involved in incidents. Monaco, Dave Benjamin Jr., then Landon Smith Jr. right into the 62, completely kills the 88. And then Wilmington, he's able to drive away, but that car is not going to have the aerodynamics to win this race, unfortunately. So, tough break for the 62 of Wilmington, a tough break for a lot of these guys, especially for Landon Smith Jr. as we see these guys just kind of yeet each other into the wall. But Landon Smith Jr. definitely the biggest factor in that wreck. He's going to finish probably deep in the field, definitely deep in the field, possibly even dead last. But Carter Joey and a handful of guys stayed out under this extremely early caution here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Let's see what he can do on the restart here in the Menards 500. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up our first caution of the day on lap number 1. Taking a look at who all got knocked out. Benjamin Dover, Riley Sampson, Dustin Davis, Mitchell Collins, Daisy Johnson, Danny DeVito Jr., Tyler Reynolds, Zachary Davis, Landon Smith Jr., your points leader, going to have a terrible finish, and Dave Benjamin all knocked out of this thing. And Bradley Ream, they repaired the hood damage on that 76. He just ran right into the back of Colton Yo like a Mopar noob. But he's still in this, but he's not going to have the aerodynamics. A lot of cars with damage on the racetrack, so that's going to be problematic caution-wise. Well, not lap car-wise, I should say. But Carter Joey, Zachary Fitzwater, Madison Tall, and Charlie Davenport all rolled the dice and stayed out early here. And James Edwards, speedy stop for that 32 team. His teammate wasn't knocked out. He's actually just way in the back there. There's where Wilmington is currently residing in the 28th position. But a speedy stop for that 32. Meanwhile, green flag back in the air. Carter Joey Fitzy with Fitzy right on Carter Joey's back bumper. Now Fitzy, he looked to the inside. He's gonna have a run to the inside of Carter Joey. Now Fitzy, he just doesn't want one win. He wants another win. As Joey gonna be on the outside lane a whole lot. Almost got hit there by the 99 of Tall. Have to make sure these guys exit turn 2. And hopefully we do not see a meme race as we see Davenport going to the inside of Tall. Meanwhile, Fitzy to the lead over Carter Joey. And I know Jonathan Logan. He's still got 2 cars left in the shindig. He wants to get a win. He knows that I jinxed him at the last race at Dover. Meanwhile, Fitzy and a couple guys get loose in the back right there. Colton Yo, your Dover winner. A couple guys with damage. I thought I saw the flagman with a red flag, but no such luck, or actually such luck, because we don't want another yellow here. But top 2 have pulled away. Fitzy and Joey pulled away from Charlie Davenport. Meanwhile, Madison Tall in the 99 has fallen all the way back to 10th position roughly. Meanwhile, her teammate Nathan Stapleton is up in the top 10. I have not talked a whole lot about him this season. Been one of those quiet drivers other than the occasional top 15. with top 10 or the occasional wreck, but he's been pretty rock solid in the 20th position. Caleb Rose has been talked about for all the wrong reasons, as we see. Oh man, that got tight there between Madison Tall and Jake Hoover. Hoover is the lone SF Premium car left in the race, and his teammate got knocked out by overshooting turn 4, I should say, and knocking themselves out. Oh, Danny DeVito Sr., what a save by the driver of the number 48. That's the second race in a row he just about got turned by someone, and it's the first race that he saved it. But man, oh man, he was driving the wheels off of that 48. But he's going to lose some momentum. We got a little bit of a hornet's nest in the back here. Keegan Thompson, only two-time winner this season, aside from the 88 of Landon Smith Jr. He's fallen back, definitely cooled off, kind of running a Jamie McMurray style season. Jamie McMurray's kind of career, some flashy moments in the 7, but overall just kind of consistently outside the top 15. Meanwhile, back to the front. I say this every single race. It's not an NOFSRL race unless we miss a pass for the lead, and that's exactly what we just saw. Carter Joey has regained the lead from Zachary Fitzwater, and now a third person has moved up into this chess match. 66 of Charlie Davenport, the only Toyota team to not score a win this season. And I know that team is very hungry for one. That single car team, Charlie Davenport Motorsports. Definitely one of the biggest underdogs in the field. One of two, the only single car team this season to not have a win. The other single car team being Daniel Voiles Racing, if I'm not mistaken. And Owen Miles, another driver having a tough season, just full frontal motorsports. Aside from their win last race at Dover, William Brock's team has just been not having a good season. Owen Miles back down the pit lane to repair some damage. Oh no! Oh, there goes Logan Williams. Juan Rodriguez! Hello! Keegan Thompson around. Oh, these guys are speeding through. Oh man, that got close right there. Juan Rodriguez around. I believe the caution should be out. Seeing if it is. Yes, it is. Caution is out for the second time of the day. Race back to the line. Carter Joey is going to try and get it over the 66 of Charlie Davenport, as he has passed Fitzy for second. Almost 3 wide there. Oh, this could get tight here. Jonathan Logan right on the quarter panel, that one car. He is going to beat Colton Yo to the line. Oh, man. Some drivers. Whoa, that got close right there. Brady Wilmington has been having a couple of rides, and, well, that's a ride right there. Did not think I'd see that picture. Just saw the undercarriage of the 79. So Logan Williams, that's a big F in the chat for you. Nathan Smith, and then Josh Williamson. He was having a couple of good runs, but this and Dover, and I think, yeah, the Badlands did not treat him. Actually, no, he had a good finish at the Badlands. And was that just Eric Monaco? And Trey Smith as well in the 38. What happened on the cooldown lap? Saw what happened with the 19, the 7, and all those guys in the South Chute. But I think we just saw Eric Monaco oof out of the race. And you know who's going to be the benefactor of that? Brady Wilmington. As long as he does not die, Brady Wilmington is going to love to see those guys get knocked out. And now here come a couple cars coming down pit lane. These are the guys that stayed out quarter of the way through the Menards 500 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And now a couple guys that went in. Caleb Rose, I believe this is going to be his first lap led this season, if I'm not mistaken. Couple of power drink, energy drink cars up at the front as Caleb Rose is going to lead his first lap of the day. We got Body Armor and Powerade. And actually, we got Gatorade as well, another Body Armor car. And then in the thick of that, we just got Advanced Auto Parts and Lowe's. But man, oh man, what happened in the back of the field? You see Daniel Voiles also coming down, going to follow along with Carter Joey as he gets service. Looks like it's going to be a 4-tire stop for that 51. He's just going to barely edge out the 66 of Davenport. But man, oh man, we missed something big on the cooldown lap. But don't worry, we're going to review both incidences what happened with Juan Rodriguez in the South Chute, and then what happened, I believe, off the exit of Turn 4, which has definitely been Calamity Corner. So let's see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day here at the Menards 500 at the Brickyard. Following along here with the 79 of Logan Williams. He is just going to skirt high into the 38 of Trey Smith. Trey Smith has had to deal with cars overshooting it, but this time Trey Smith is going to be on the wrong side of the end, right into the safer barrier. That turns the 79 of Logan Williams around. Keegan Thompson nowhere to go, as Juan Rodriguez also nowhere to go. And frankly, these guys are going to slide down the racetrack. Ooh, Derek Hamill, I think he's going to get a little piece right here. No, great evasive maneuvers there by the 91 of Derek Hamill. Too bad that same couldn't be said at Texas World. I know Matt Tuck is still salty about that. But then up in the front, we'll teleport to you to see what happened. But a couple of cars go over. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 75 and the 22 and all those guys. Let's see what happened there. Well, Josh Williamson's an absolute gangster right here. The exact same thing that happened in the South Chute happened in the North Chute. This North Chute is notorious for this happening, but Josh Williamson just flat out dumps a 75 of Eric Monaco. And Eric Monaco is going to slide up the racetrack. Thankfully, there were no other cars there, but that is going to damage him. And then Josh Williamson, I think he's going to hit the outside wall as well. Going to try and get a better angle of this. There's where Nathan Smith and Trey Smith get their damage. I think 62 of Wilmington just going to skirt by on the grass. And then here comes Logan Williams trying to get a good camera angle for Logan Williams. You see debris all over the racetrack. Logan Williams, he's just going to scoot by. There's Juan Rodriguez. He's stuck on there. And so there's where Williams gets his damage. And I think he's going to get hit square in the door. Oh! Oh, man. Right in the middle of a Nathan Smith and Keegan Thompson sandwich. That's what turns him upside down. And then massive internal damage for the 75 of Eric Monaco. Your 2 points leaders coming into this race are both out relatively early. But man, oh man. A couple different incidences here at the Brickyard here in the Menards 500. We'll get you the real-time replay in just a split second. Following along here with Logan Williams in the entrance of turn number 1 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just overshoots it just a little bit right into Trey Smith. Nowhere for Juan Rodriguez and Keegan Thompson to go. And then we thought that was initially going to be it. See a couple cars spinning out of the way, but coming back to the caution. Going to let it play out right here. Josh Williamson just went full gangster on the 75 of Eric Monaco. See, they're coming into turn 3. It's going to be the apex between turns 3 and turn 4. Right in the North Chute, just hooks Eric Monaco. And then Eric Monaco goes bye-bye. And then that's where Josh Williamson gets his damage. I think he's going to get hit right there by the 25 of Nathan Smith. Trey Smith as well. And then, ooh, Juan Rodriguez just runs right into the back. And then there's where Logan Williams had his massive damage right there. So a lot more cars going to get knocked out here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, unfortunately. And the biggest of those guys is, unfortunately, the 75 of Eric Monaco, who really had no reason in the cause of the caution. But internal damage was too great for that 75. We saw a couple of cars hit the pit lane, cars that had stayed out. But yeah, you're looking at this single chain of cars right here. You know some carnage has been done. Indianapolis is a fickle track, and she's showing her true colors today. But Caleb Rose stayed out. He pit under the first caution. So he, Nathan Stapleton, Danny DeVito Sr., James Edwards, and the 97 of Brandon Yadell will be your top 5 cars as we come to the restart here. So let's see what these guys can do on the restart here in the Menards 500 at the Brickyard. Welcome back to the Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up our second caution of the day in the Menards 500, seeing who else got knocked out from this incident. Nathan Smith, Josh Williamson, Juan Rodriguez, Logan Williams, Trey Smith, Keegan Thompson, and unfortunately 75 of Eric Monaco, the biggest guy to get knocked out. He's still going to get a top 25 finish, it's actually better than his adversary, number 88 of Landon Smith Jr. and then Owen Miles is just one lap down in the 23rd position. 22 cars on the lead lap here as Caleb Rose leads them to the green flag. We're back under green flag here. And at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it looked for a second that the 98 of Stapleton was going to try and make it 3 wide going into 1. That is not what you want to do. But he's actually going to use a 40 of Miles as a little bit of a drafting pick. That's going to leave the 54 of Rose on the outside. Definitely not the preferred line here, as Stapleton going to get some clean air after passing the 40 of Miles. Miles is just going to hold up the 54 of Rose. I know I said this last race at Dover. I'm hoping that Caleb Rose gets at least a decent finish, at least like a top 10 or something, because believe me, that morally, that team needs it. Looking back to see, Nathan Buchanan on the inside. And now Ryan Benjamin coming down the pit lane. And so is Brady Wilmington. Probably to repair some damage. See the 15 with damage. Wilmington also down the pit lane. If he gets trapped a lap down, that's not what he wants. He is going to catch up on his 2 points rivals just a little bit. That is not what he wants, and that's not what Brady Wilmington fans want to see. Meanwhile, back up front, Caleb Rose has fallen outside the top 5. His teammate, he's exactly in the top 5. His teammate, Matt Tuck, team owner as well, currently in the 4th position. Then is James Edwards and Danny DeVito Sr. of a 4-car train here, but Nathan Stapleton is all by his lonesome, closing in on halfway here. Ryan Benjamin not going to beat these guys out in time. Brady Wilmington might beat them out, but Nathan Stapleton coming with a full head of steam, completing 16 of 40 laps here in the Menards 500. Meanwhile, Matt Tuck helped from his teammate. They're going to slingshot around James Edwards. Wilmington just coming back onto the racing surface. I think he is going to jump the 98 and a couple of those guys. Oh, no! And that's good. Charlie Davenport, Nathan Buchanan. Oh, my goodness! Cole Sampson going for the ride of his ride of his life. What in God's name is Bradley Ream doing? He just went Days of Thunder on their butts. Voiles, Fitzy, Davenport, Tall, Nathan Buchanan, another hard hit. And that saves Brady Wilmington. Bradley Ream came flying out of nowhere. But the 5, Al Lagasse also involved. Owen Miles, a lap car, but Cole Sampson going for the ride of his life here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And there ain't nobody left to have a race. That is for darn sure. Oh my goodness. Definitely one of the most violent wrecks we've seen all season long. And that was scary, and we caught that live. So that was a very scary incident. Hoping that 5 car is okay. Al Lagasse with huge damage. Nathan Buchanan is done. So is Voiles. And that saves Brady Wilmington. Actually, he might be the leader if these cars come down for some reason. So that would actually really help Brady Wilmington with points. But a lot of cars with damage. That kind of screws Ryan Benjamin just a little bit. But man, oh man, Indianapolis. It's turning into a wreck fest here, unfortunately. Gonna see if these drivers duck down on the pit road. Matt Tuck, he has climbed his way into 2nd. And his teammate, Caleb Rose, up into 3rd. It appears nobody's gonna come down the pit lane. Actually, I do have one taker, Jonathan Logan, owner-driver for his own team. He and a couple other cars are going to come down the pit lane. Madison Toll definitely going to be done for the day in that 99. Charlie Davenport going to try and repair the damage on that 66. And that caution definitely saved Wilmington. Going to see what Davenport does. Davenport's going to still be in here. I think Toll's going to call it a day. Fitzy's still trying to repair that car. Let's see. Bradley Ream just going to get serviced. They're still trying to repair the 5 car, but he's going to be done, I think. A violent accident here. And I think we're only going to have probably 20 or so cars left in the race, if that. So Nathan Stapleton is your leader, about to cross the halfway point here in the Menards 500. Let's see what happened to bring out the 3rd caution of the day. Definitely our most scary and violent of this race and possibly this season. Let's see what happened to Cole Sampson going for a wild ride down the back straightaway here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So this actually started in turn 2. You're going to see Cole Sampson make a little bit of contact with Owen Miles. Owen Miles had to check up. He was definitely not where a lap car is supposed to be, but then you see here comes a 66 of Davenport with a huge head of steam, and then these cars ultimately shoved together. Look at the hit that the 5 of Sampson is going to take. You see Nathan Buchanan, another with a hard hit, but then the track is effectively blocked. Al Lagasse giving Cole Sampson a huge shot. Look at how high that 5 car goes. Going for the ride of his life. You're going to kind of do a barrel roll down the back straightaway here. Thankfully, this was more towards the back of the field that we didn't have a whole lot of more drivers involved. But here comes Bradley Ream. He is going to thread the needle on that 76. Just fly by his Mopar teammate as Cole Sampson going to skid down the back straightaway in that 5 car. Al Lagasse's car is destroyed. He was the one that hit Sampson. Lagasse took a huge shot in that 34 as well. So did Fitzy. Voiles was able to drive away. So were Madison Tall. Man, oh man, what a huge lick that was for the 5 of Cole Sampson. Real-time replay following along with the 5 of Sampson. Your Talladega winner, you see. 3 wide in the wrong place. He almost went up over there, but then right here, Lagasse just hits him square in the passenger side door, and then he is just along for the ride in that 5 car. And then look at Bradley Ream. We're probably going to have to take an onboard with Bradley Ream. But man, oh man. Actually, oh, Derek Hamill. So that's where Jonathan Logan got his damage. See your pole sitter Carter Joey has somehow survived the carnage. He's been riding in the back. That could have got dangerous right there. See Nathan Buchanan, another hard shot for that 12 car. A lot of cars are damaged. We're going to go on board with somebody here and then get you back to your restart. Just passing halfway here in a very chaotic Indianapolis race for the Menards 500. Just about said Indianapolis 500. That's actually going to be coming up in a couple weeks. So that is very interesting. Let's get to a real-time replay and get you back to the restart. On board with Bradley Ream, you see him going through the smoke. He went full-on Days of Thunder, you see. Actually, Owen Miles flipped as well. But, you see Ream going full-on Days of Thunder through that. Actually, that's where Cole Sampson's camera is. You see Charlie Davenport driving away. Actually, I'm going to have to go on board with the 40 of Owen Miles here. See what happened to that car. Real-time replay following along with Owen Miles. Oh, he just got hit by the 5. We're so focused with Sampson. That is a violent hit. See Bradley Ream yeeting himself through there. Owen Miles digging into the grass on the back straightaway. And then taking himself out of the race. Al Lagasse with a ton of damage in that 34. But, man, oh man. Large accident here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway that took out even more drivers, but Nathan Stapleton led them back to the caution flag. He is going to lead them back to the green as he did not go down the pit road. So let's see what Stapleton and company can do on the restart here in the Menards 500 at the Brickyard. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, wrapping up our third caution of the day, and somebody is having engine failures, and it's the only remaining SF Premium car left. Tyler Reynolds, owner of this team, not going to be happy as Jake Hoover, with a mechanical issue, is going to have his day ended early. And speaking of days ended early, we don't have anybody left in this race to have a competent race. Take a look at who else got knocked out. We have 15 drivers on the lead lap, about to have 14 drivers on the lead lap. About to have 15 cars left in the race, but knocked out from that incident. Trace Smith, Keegan Thompson, actually, no, those guys were not knocked out, but Daniel Voiles, Al Lagasse, Cole Sampson. He's still going to get a top 20 after flipping. Fitzy, Nathan Buchanan, and Madison Tall all knocked out of the race. And Ryan Benjamin, he's still going to get a good finish. He's still going to get at least a top 10, 15 finish in that 15. But Nathan Stapleton leading them back to the restart, just past the halfway point here in the Menards 500 at the Brickyard, hoping that we can stay caution-free. But, you know, this track has just been stupid today so far. As see a couple of drivers that are going to be left out. Now, probably the biggest beneficiary, if he can keep his nose clean, is definitely going to be the 62 of Brady Wilmington. he's going to definitely leapfrog the 88 and the 75 in points, especially if more of these guys wreck in the way that they are racing. I think another wreck is going to be inevitable. That's going to get close right there, but now it's then a 2-car breakaway between Stapleton and Tuck. Looking at these guys, making sure nobody overdrives turn 2. And now Derek Hamill is going to come down the pit lane. Something amiss on that 91. We'll have to see if he dips out of the race. That'll be another couple of points to Brady Wilmington. I think Wilmington's definitely the guy to watch here. These guys are aggressively racing. Meanwhile, Matt Tuck to the inside of the 98 of Stapleton for the lead. And he is going to clear him. And it looks like the 91 of... whatever his name is, Derek Hamill is just going to have service on that car. Jake Hoover is back out on the racetrack. This guy's still racing a little bit aggressively. There's Brendan Udell in the 97. Have not talked a whole lot about him this season. James Edwards falling back. Caleb Rose is on track to have he's on a decent finish. Probably inside the top 10 at least. And Matt Tuck is going to lead his first lap of the day, actually his second lap of the day, over Nathan Stapleton. Meanwhile, that got close there between Colton Yeo and Carter Joey. Colton Yeo with a lot of rear end damage in that one car. Surprisingly, has not screwed up his aerodynamics, but he's still going to get a good finish out of this. Caleb Campbell, definitely have not talked about him much this season. Has highlighted the season so far has been getting rear ended at Michigan. Now Derek Hamill, he's going to make things interesting. Carter Joey, that got close there between him and DeVito Sr. Hamill's going to hold these guys up just a little bit in that 91. Making sure everybody's getting through well, and they are. And Matt Tuck and Nathan Stapleton have kind of checked out from the this other pack right here. Trying to see where everybody is. And they're focusing on Brady Wilmington, currently rocking P13. Not the finish he would want, but it's better than the finish that his point-driven rivals have been getting. Trying to get the regular season championship as Caleb Campbell going to fall back on that 46 just a little bit. Now battle for the third position. Here's a 54 of Caleb Rose going for third, trying to get his best finish of the season in that 54. Meanwhile, Stapleton and Tuck have checked out from these guys, about 2 seconds in front of them. Matt Tuck, Velocity Racing, another team looking for their first win of the season. Full frontal got it last week. Oh no! Somebody, Udell and DeVito Sr. DeVito Sr. hitting the inside wall. He is not going to be happy with Brendan Udell after this one. Oh man, that could have got dangerous right there, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to have to repair damage. 2 straight poor finishes for that 48 team. Meanwhile, 3 wide going through turn 2 here. And Udell just about hooked the 48. We saw that off camera just a little bit. Probably not going to review it if the 48 does not get knocked out. But meanwhile, pass for the lead once again. Missing a pass for the lead as Matt Tuck overshoots the north chute. And Nathan Stapleton going for the lead, but he overdrives turn 4 just a little bit. Here comes Matt Tuck, couple of NR 2003 series running guys going door to door here down the front straight, the famous front straightaway. I know Nathan Stapleton, he won here in the New Era Cup Series just about a month or 2 ago. He wants to get another win here at his home track, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but he's going to have to battle Matt Tuck for closing in on 10 laps to go here. Now with oh no, we got James Edwards and Caleb Campbell. I believe that's going to bring out our 4th caution of the day, if I'm not mistaken. And indeed it has. So James Edwards and Caleb Campbell going around. That is going to save the 48 of Danny DeVito Sr. Actually, I'm not sure if he's a lap down or not. No, he is not. Actually, let's see what timing and scoring says. If he's a lap down or not. No, so that's going to save Danny DeVito Sr. from going a lap down. That's definitely been our least violent wreck. Going to have a restart with less than 10 laps to go here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But James Edwards and Caleb Campbell going around here in the south chutes between turns 1 and 2. and a lot of damage to that right side damage to that 46, and then trying to find James Edwards, a lot of left side damage to that 32. James Edwards having a very interesting season for Pacific Racing. Brady Wilmington's been getting all the glory. Meanwhile, that 32 has just been having sloppy seconds for that team. But nonetheless, he and Caleb Campbell were caught up in an incident, possibly a game-changing incident, race-changing incident here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Let's see what happened to bring out our 4th caution of the day here in the Menards 500 at the Brickyard. So you see James Edwards on the high side of Jonathan Logan. This is exiting turn 1. You see he has a checkup a ton there, making sure he doesn't overdrive the corner. But you see on the bottom, the 46 of Caleb Campbell, a full head of steam. And you see James Edwards going to dive low, and Caleb Campbell subsequently is just going to overdrive turn 2 just a little bit. They make some contact, sliding up into the turn 2 wall. A lot of damage for James Edwards. He definitely gets the most damage of that, and that is enough to trigger the caution lights. Thankfully, none of these guys in the back hit these guys. James Edwards definitely getting the worst end of that deal. He's not going to be knocked out, so he'll probably get a top 15 finish. But Caleb Campbell, couple of all the things that needed to go wrong went wrong there for those guys, and that's ultimately the end result. Let's get you the real-time replay. Following along here with James Edwards in the 32, you see he had to check up there, and here comes Campbell with a full head of momentum. They make contact, and right into the outside wall, triggers the caution lights, spins those cars around. James Edwards definitely getting the most damage out of those guys, but that brings out a late race caution. Nathan Stapleton was able to get around the 52 of Matt Tuck, but that's just going to rack up the 10 or so cars we got remaining left in this race and send them spinning once again. So nobody came down the pit lane, at least to my knowledge. So let's see what these guys can do on the restart here. Less than 10 laps to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Who's going to win the Menards 500? Let's find out. We're back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway wrapping up our 4th caution of the day, and nobody was knocked out in that incident. Derek Hamill and the 15 of Ryan Benjamin all 1 lap down, and they're starting single file. 16 cars left on the racetrack here with 10 laps to go, coming to 9 laps to go. It has been a bloody race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Nathan Stapleton leads them back. 9 laps to go for Stapleton to win at his home track, but he's going to have to fend off a couple of hungry Velocitar racing cars in order to do so. And Carter Joey, wouldn't that be something? I don't believe he has led a single lap in this race yet. Yet here he is, trying to vie for the win. Same goes for Brendan Yadell. Actually, Derek Hamill's a lap down, but Jonathan Logan also looking to get a good finish out of this. So is Colton Yo, trying to back up that win last race at Dover with a decent finish. And probably the biggest man out of all this to win everything is going to be the 62 of Brady Wilmington. He can very easily get a top 10 finish here if his teammate or if he passes any of these guys. But going for the race lead, Caleb Rose to the inside of his teammate of Matt Tuck. Oh, Matt Tuck got to get out of the gas a ton right there. He's going to lose 2nd and 3rd, and that's exactly what Stapleton wants to see. Tuck is going to lose a ton of positions on the outside. That got close right there between him and Derek Hamill. We know Tuck has beef with Derek Hamill after Texas World. But now it is between a couple of blue energy drink cars, Stapleton and Rose. Rose, I know he just wants to get a top 10 finish, but wouldn't it be something if he just gets a win? We've seen one driver shake off demons last week with the one of Colton Yo, drawing a blank there for a second. And now can Caleb Rose shake off his own demons in the 54? He is drafting off of that 98. Coming to just a couple of laps to go here in the Menards 500 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Nathan Stapleton had to go high. That's going to open the door for Caleb Rose in the 54. Ooh, cannot get the gap in time. Stapleton's going to close the door. That's going to allow the 51 of Carter Joey to get up in this shindig. Both Father Fruit Motorsports and Velocitar Racing looking for their first wins of the season. And all these drivers up here, top 5 drivers, top 6 drivers, I should say, looking for their first win of the season. And Colton Yo is just looking back, snacking on some popcorn in that one car. Waiting for these guys to wreck. Coming to 6 laps to go here from Indianapolis for Nathan Stapleton. Looking back, making sure nobody has failed. 6 laps to go for Stapleton in the 98. Can Caleb Rose? He has 6 laps to try and figure out how to get around that 98. And Stapleton subsequently has 6 laps to figure out how not to allow the 54 of Rose to get around him. But he is going to go wide. Here comes Rose to the inside. They're going to be side by side going down the back straight away. No, he had to get out of line. And that's going to allow the 51 of Carter Joey a little bit on the outside. He's going to slingshot on the outside through past Caleb Rose. No, outside lane. He did not have enough momentum. And that is going to allow Nathan Stapleton to pull away. Those guys kind of washing each other out. And now Yadell on the inside. He's going to side draft the 54 of Rose just a little bit. 5, count them, 5 laps to go for Nathan Stapleton here at the Brickyard. And Caleb Rose, I think he'd just be happy with a good finish. I know I've said that before, but Yadell, he's hungry. So is Matt Tuck. He wants to stop being the laughingstock of this series. Oh, Caleb Rose making some contact with Carter Joey. I know the last thing he wants is that good top 5 finish for that 54 to be diminished by something stupid. But here comes Yadell. He's going to have help from Tuck trying to get around his teammate and team owner of Nathan Stapleton. Looking back through the field here. There is your car, last car in the top 10. Actually, Jake Hoover, who had mechanical issues in that 27. I think he probably just had a tire going down. He is still going to get a top 10 finish after this is all said and done, as long as something stupid does not happen, and something stupid might happen. Matt Tuck, the meme lord himself, to the inside of Yadell for second. That is exactly what Stapleton wants to see out of his rear view mirror. Tuck is going to get by. Oh, Yadell and Carter Joey there. That got close right there for those 2 drivers. Caleb Rose trying to steal the 3rd place position away. He's going to go for 4th on the 51 of Joey. And now these guys battling Rose almost into the 51. Carter Joey going to go a little bit wide there. His teammate and team owner, Jonathan Logan. Owner drivers in the front here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as Rose goes wide in the 54. Meanwhile, Nathan Stapleton, 3 to go for the 98. 2 NR 2003 running owner drivers here running 1, 2. That got close there between teammates of the 10 and the 51. Here comes Colton Yo, still rocking a top 10 position. He's going to pass Carter Joey. Carter Joey, I think his chances of winning are probably getting smaller and smaller by the second. Ryan Benjamin just hoping to get a decent 16th place finish here in the 15. James Edwards, he's still on the lead lap. He is currently in the 11th position. Davenport going to get 12th. Bradley Ream going to get 13th without a hood. And then biggest winner of the day is probably going to be the 62 of Wilmington. After both Eric Monaco and Landon Smith Jr. were knocked out. But popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for the Hoosier himself. Nathan Stapleton is trying to make a statement late into the going here. But he's going to have heat from Matt Tuck and his teammates at NS Racing. That got close there between Caleb Rose and Jonathan Logan. Logan going to take a position away. And Yadell and Tuck battling for second place. Yadell is going to get the leg up. But it might be too little, too late. Going down the back straightaway for the second to final time. Tuck is going to file in right behind the 97 of Yadell. But it is all Nathan Stapleton going through the south chute, coming to the white flag. Yadell's going to have 4 more corners to try and get past his teammate. They're closing in on that 98. Tuck is going to fall back in line behind the 97. But white flag in the air for Nathan Stapleton. One more time around the Brickyard for the Hoosier himself. Yadell and Tuck are closing. Jonathan Logan and Caleb Rose, they're too far back. It's going to be a 3-car battle at the end of this race, and Tuck is going to the inside of Yadell, and that might seal it. He's going to easily get around the 97. Going to get right in front of him now. He's going to have to draft the heck out of that 98 of Stapleton if he's going to want to do anything. But I think it's going to be too little, too late through turn 3 for the final time. Through the treacherous north chute, making sure everybody gets through, and it appears that they are. Yadel going underneath Tuck for second place, but is none other than the Indiana native himself. He won here in the New Era Cup Series. Once again, the Hoosier is going to win the Brickyard. Checkered flag, Stapleton wins in Indy. And it's going to be a party on the NIRA server tonight. Nathan Stapleton gets it done here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Matt Tuck, oh so close. Sam goes for Brennan Yadel. And then Jonathan Logan and Caleb Rose, a couple of their best finishes of the season. Colton Yo backing up his Dover winner with a solid 6th place finish. Jake Hoover coming in 7th. Carter Joe, your pole sitter, 8th. Derek Campbell was a lap down. 48 of Danny DeVito Sr., who hit the inside wall, got dumped by Adele earlier, finishes 9th, and then Caleb Campbell involved in that final accident with James Edwards rounds out your top 10 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But the man himself, the Hoosier, Nathan Stapleton, gets it done at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Kind of already went over your top 10. 14 cars on the lead lap. Brady Wilmington finishing P14, a large points day for him. But here are all the guys that were knocked out of this thing. And the two biggest names that were knocked out, Landon Smith Jr. and Eric Monaco, finishing 32nd and 24th respectively for those guys. That ain't good. I can tell you right now, that is not good for those. Especially because Brady Wilmington, he didn't finish in the top 10, but he did get 14th, which is respectable. So he's going to get roughly 121 points, if I'm not mistaken. But talk of the town right now, definitely Nathan Stapleton, native of Indiana, I should say. And he becomes the second owner driver to win this season, if I'm not actually the third owner driver. I could be wrong. I'm going to say third owner driver to win this season here in the inaugural season of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. But that's all I've got. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton. Here are your points after 20 races. It's go time. We've got 5 races until we cut off the top 10 drivers in points and 2 wildcard guys. It's going to get nuts. But from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana, I have been Trey Wright. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton on his win in the Menards 500. And on behalf of nobody, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. From the Brickyard of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this has been NASCAR Nerd 34, signing off.